Hello and welcome, man. I'm sneaking this in like during sunset, so hopefully there's plenty of light here. This is House of Slaughter issue 10. I think it's the end of this current story arc, because if it's not, I'm not quite sure where they're planning to go with it. This was, of course, bagged as a body bag variant. How very macabre, right? But it ain't. The cover's nothing like issue eight's cover. Like this cover, kinda cool. I dig it. Sadly, this isn't what happens in the book, but I dig the cover anyway. We actually start the book out in kind of an interesting storytelling place. And I kind of like it and I kind of don't like it. So the reasons I like it is this is showing how monsters get made, basically. Like the monsters in this universe are all founded upon the beliefs and dreams and imagination of kids. That's what they originate from. That's what they come from. That's where, that's how new ones come into existence. Is this? And so you got kids at summer camp sometime in the aftermath of what happens in the middle of the book, talking about what happens in the rest of the book. So some little kid, 12-year-olds or whatever, at summer camp alone is talking about this. And that's kind of cool. That's an interesting perspective, one we haven't really seen in the House of Slaughter books or Something's Killing the Children or whatever you want to call this series. And our hero has got to do battle with a monster. Now, I thought for sure that the monster he was going to be fighting was his little totem, but instead it's this thing. And maybe that is his totem in disguise. I'm not really sure. The narration in the last two issues was kind of weird, and the narration in this one doesn't really tell you anything. But he does battle with the beast. And really, by battle with the beast, I mean he hangs on for dear life. Now, he's apparently a very smart guy who had access to information that we, the reader, didn't really have access to. Unless, of course, we, the reader, also had like one more piece of information, like we can do some speculation. So, the monster smashes the boat, sends him into the ocean, he's drowning. Now, if you remember, back, I forget if it was the last issue or the one before, what did his monster want him to do? His little totem thing, his 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 ink brush, that's what it was. Telling him stories about drowning. And now here he is, fighting this giant monster and drowning. And he tries to find something to hold on to, there's nothing. He tries to find something to grab, and eventually, in this swirling vortex of death that this dragon is producing, gets a shard of glass through his hand, and he uses that, boom, to latch onto the dragon and lodge that like between its scales so that he's attached to the dragon. The dragon tries to drown him by swimming deep underwater, then eventually drives itself up out into the air. And I'm going to flip over just a couple of pages. Oh yeah, here we go. That's a pretty good panel. His bloody hand, the monster's eye, and all that. But right below that, mysterious light. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I think it looks pretty cool. You know what looks even cooler? That monster right there. So our little hero knew this thing was lurking out there and watching him. And I don't know if this is his totem. Like, where's his freaking totem? I would have sworn his totem was the monster that was hunting him in the lake. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We just have to infer the implications, I guess. But this thing shows up and kills the monster he was fighting. Whatever the heck this is. Look at this thing. Isn't this wild? I think it's absolutely wild. Then the rest of the book is like some stuff. Oh, ooh, look, House of Slaughter. It's some stuff where the house masters are talking and trying to make sense of his report. And it kind of winds down in a lackluster way, squandering the whoa factor from right here. If I remember right, like the very last thing is like next year, some kids are telling the story about the guy. And we end on like a really great shock panel that's just like, oof. But I can't show you that because it's after the staples. And I've already shown like 6 pages of this book off, like completely. So we're calling it here on showing more off. But this was a good wrap up to the story. I like the change in perspective because it fits with the universe. This is like an old campfire tale, and I dig that. At the same time, though, I kind of wonder what the narration would have been like. You know, the little narration boxes. If the main character here had been the one narrating it and he was the one telling it to the other members of the order. Like, I think that might have been a neat way to do it too. I don't know. This story arc has been pretty interesting, and I have definitely enjoyed it much more than the first story arc in the book, which seemed like a big lackluster waste of time. So check it out, House of Slaughter issue 10. So like issue 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just pretend I got a 5 on the other hand, as I'm counting off. They've been pretty good. All right, that's it. You all take care of yourselves. You have a great day, great night, great whatever you got going on. Hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.